Alrighty, y'all. I'm recording this a little late. I just happened to be up doing some work and couldn't think of anything better to do since I've got that early late night adrenaline going through me. I can't, actually go to bed anytime soon. So, I guess today's video will just be about best online jobs for students. Mostly because I've, kind of been on that topic for myself recently, and I didn't really script this one, so I don't know where to start particularly. But I've been looking at a couple of jobs specifically, mostly ones that require very little skills and are in kind of high demand. Mostly because these aren't like the huge jobs that everyone's gonna want. These are like the smaller jobs, the mid tier paying jobs. But I feel like for people like us that are students, we're not gonna go after some salaried position, especially not if we're looking for remote work. I think just the availability of remote work is a good enough of a trade off to where you don't have to sort of expect, like $50 an hour and stuff like that. So, what I've been looking at recently, obviously you're gonna be one of using websites like LinkedIn. I use Indeed actually for pretty much most of my stuff. If you're in the freelancing world, um, if you've got like little niche skills, maybe you can write code or design websites, stuff like that. Um, I would definitely recommend like Fiverr and Upwork. Those are the two best. I'm on both of those. Mostly as like on Upwork I've been trying to do a lot of editing and proofreading. That hasn't really worked out quite yet. I did like one website review and that's it so far. Um, Same thing on Fiverr. No business on there for me personally quite yet, but I'm on Fiverr as a business analyst and like budget assistant, finance advisor. Um, but those two would be like the best freelancing resources that I know of. Otherwise, if you're looking for like an established company, maybe something a little less freelancy. Companies like Amazon have a crap ton of online jobs, especially the little side gigs that they do through their um, little whatever that's called, the Amazon like Turk thingy that they have all like the micro work through. Same thing with Apple. Apple's got a lot of online jobs. I guess the big tech companies, Google too. I know. I've looked at a few of those. Um, they all have their own sort of array of virtual jobs, and a lot of them revolve around like customer service, like handling calls, emails, some virtual assistant type stuff. Personally, I don't really like virtual assistant because of the workload and time demand it puts on you. Because the point of an online job is to sort of have the freedom to work whenever you want. But being a personal assistant doesn't exactly do that. You're kind of at the whim of the person that you're being an assistant for, which means that you sort of have all around coverage. So it doesn't supply as much freedom as the other options. Other options include tutoring. Tutoring's huge just because, um, I mean, it's people have shied away from paying for tutoring, but if you can get established on like a tutoring resource, or if you can find, if you're lucky, some private tutoring gigs, then you can get good pay for that. That's somewhere around like 20. Well, I'd say between $15 and $25 an hour, based off of what I've seen on Indeed at least, in terms of the jobs I looked at, because I looked at some tutoring jobs. Most of them run through big websites. Be careful of scams. Some of them do try to scam you and be like, "Oh, you need to get certified," and then they'll get you a link to go pay for some certification. That's stupid. Don't do that. Um, but yeah, if you're smart, if you're good at teaching, you can do tutoring from middle school all the way into college level classes. Just kind of depends on what kind of work you can find. Specifically online, there's a lot of options there. Very competitive though. Tutoring is what I've found. Besides that, there's data entry. Data entry is a little less saturated for people. Also a little higher in demand. I think that's a little better of a job. Pays a little bit less. Not too terribly less. In fact, I think data entry has more of a range, based off what I've seen. Looking at those kinds of jobs, I've seen pay anywhere from like 15 upwards into like 30, $35 an hour. Um, but those also, the higher paying ones typically take away some freedoms, so those require more hours. maybe an open availability at certain times of the day. But I mean that's not it's not like crazy requirements to meet, and you certainly don't have to be at a physical location on the clock. Besides data entry, there's also editing, a lot of proofreading needed for academic articles and newspapers. Those are mostly little side gigs. Usually, you don't get kind of a contract with that or a part time job. If you can land a position as like like part time editor for a newspaper or something, that's great. That's really great for you. But usually, those are kind of like the one time things. Um, Besides those, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of options, and you can look up remote work on Indeed. It has its own category specifically for online work, but let's see, I've gone over personal assistant. You can do stuff like business analysis. That's a little more tuned towards people that have that kind of education. Um, Secretarying. There is a lot of customer service out there, a lot of call center stuff. You can set up like a home call center, um, and you can basically just take calls from there. That does require open availability though, for the most part. Uh, Besides that, there are writing jobs. I think everyone kind of says that, oh, you can just go write online. That's not entirely true because that's extremely oversaturated due to everybody saying that you can do that. But the writing online it's there. A lot of people are trying to do it. But yeah, there's places that'll pay you for either surveys or reviews or just to write short stories and stuff. But I'd prefer if you're looking for something that's typing or writing, I would prefer data entry or copy editors, just because those are a little more available, and I would say pay a little more consistently, because if you're just doing like completely out of the scratch like writing work, like you're just writing some random essay or whatever, like that's probably gonna have like a $50 price tag, okay, $15 price tag or something. Whereas you could probably get like an hourly sort of pay as a copy editor. And some companies that do editing and proofreading and stuff, copying work and data entry, like Apple, they will specifically, if you're lucky enough and land an actual position that's not a gig, um, they can like end up sending you a computer and pay for internet if you don't already have it, and you get some solid benefits if you actually get a gig, or not a gig, a part-time job from them. But those do require you to be 18 for them, pretty much for all of them. Um, Besides those, I can't really think. Hold on. I've gone over tutoring. I've gone over assistant. I've gone over freelancing. Freelancing is, I'd say, the most versatile option out there, just because you can literally do anything for money on freelancing. Like on Fiverr, you have people that'll do voiceovers and then writing and then editing and then anything you can think of, like music, whatever. If you have what could be considered a marketable rare skill, you can throw that on Fiverr, and you never know, some business might roll your way. Um, Besides that, there's I don't know. I think I've gone over all the best options. Kind of a random video. I've just been over here looking on my computer, just on these kinds of stuff. Looking on Indeed, and applying to probably an egregious amount of not scholarships. Gosh, I'm tired. Jobs today. I spent, I would say, at least 6 hours just sifting through different jobs. There's accounting as well that's similar to data entry. Accounting and bookkeeping, and budget planning, those tend to be for particular businesses, sometimes small businesses, sometimes medium-sized businesses, usually not big businesses. It's mostly going to be small businesses that do those things, and those require some skills. If you're on Indeed, you might want to get some of their certifications. And I mean, that's a good talking point. Indeed does have a lot of those tests that you can take for certifications to add to your account, and those really do make you look better on your job applications, because that shows you like put in the effort to take that little test and just get that little mark on your account, which is better than most people on Indeed, to be fair. Um, Let's see. Let me actually look at what I have here. I've got kind of coding. There's online marketing. I'll finish up with that one. If you're good with like social media and stuff, you can manage social media accounts. You can make posts for businesses, like small businesses. You can manage pretty much their entire online marketing front, and those are hard jobs to get because not too many businesses need more than one of those or two or whatever. There's usually a small team of online marketers. But if you can get into something like Google Ads or um, like managing a social media account, like Facebook or whatever for a small company, um, those are very very rare positions to have, but very very well paying if you can land those. Um, I think I've gone over all the ones. Just I guess to run over what I've done so far. We've got marketing, coding, accounting, data entry, tutoring, editing, writing, personal assistance, and I think that's about it. Just kind of variations of those jobs, sort of, um, with a little bit of wiggle room. Mostly the same concepts. Those are the best online jobs I've found so far. And voiceover acting, but that goes into the freelancing bit with Fiverr and Upwork and stuff. Um, so I guess that's it. Maybe I'll make a follow up video if I find something else. I'm definitely gonna keep staying up, or well, stay up tonight and be applying to more jobs because I'm on a hyperfixation. But if you've got to this point of the video, I appreciate it. I don't think anybody will, but if you did, like, subscribe, and if you want some more tips, just stay in tune because I post kind of randomly, whenever, spontaneously, whenever my brain thinks like it. So that's it for this one, and I'll see you guys next time I decide to make one of these. Bye, y'all.